I grew up in a poor and rather dysfunctional family. If the truth be known, I guess we all grew up in somewhat dysfunctional families, more or less. My mother worked overtime, and we 5 kids were often left to our own devices. My older sisters, blessed their hearts, and they were charged with all the chores of housekeeping. Now, they're wonderful sisters, the very best. But if I wasn't home at noon, I was often locked out of the house. They didn't want me to mess up the house before Mom got home. This makes me think of a situation that we were just recently in Marseille, France. We were living in a small room in a house with 9 young women and 1 bathroom. One night I got locked out, and it made me think of my childhood days when I was locked out of the house and I would walk to my grandmother's house for food and comfort. A long and tiring voyage. She always understood my plight, but nonetheless would often say, "If you're fretting, you ain't trusting." Boy, that rings in my mind to this very day. If you're fretting, you ain't trusting. And now I'm 66 years old and still learning new lessons about trusting God. A new and, to be honest, a somewhat scary mission is unfolding before us, and it's a little daunting to say the least. The other morning, after the being locked out incident, I just happened to be reading in Matthew chapter 9, just happened, about the 2 blind men that followed Jesus. And I quote, "They had sufficient reason to fret, but I realize that worry and angst are relative to each of us. We all fret." Matthew 9 says, "When he had gone inside," Jesus, "the blind men came to him, and Jesus asked them, 'Do you believe that I'm able to do this?' 'Yes, Lord,' they replied. Then he touched their eyes and said, 'Let it happen then, just as you believe.'" Yes, Lord. 2 words that rejoice the heart of God. God was asking me very simply, in the midst of this new and challenging task, in this big and needy city, are you willing to ask God to do the impossible? My response is, yes, Lord. His response, let it happen then, just as you believe. Today more than ever, I understand that it isn't about how I feel, but how I think. The Bible says, what you really think in your heart of hearts is really what you are. Jesus said, "I am the resurrection and the life. The one who believes in me will live, even though they die. And whoever lives by believing in me will never die." Do you believe this? And I say, yes, Lord. This is not positive thinking, but rather thinking positively about the declarations of God. I am the resurrection. I am the good shepherd. I am the bread of life, and I will do what I said I will do. So, dear friends, if you're listening to this short message today, I want to leave you with this declaration of my sweet dear grandmother. If you're fretting, you ain't trusting. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.